Let me ask, how are the young people doing this afternoon? Some people may be surprised because they expected Pastor Tim to preach tonight. Well, Pastor Tim said that he want me to preach tonight, and then he'd follow after me, right? And so I want to let the young people know that whenever it's youth conference, the enemy is working double time. You listening? So whenever the youth are ready to do something, the enemy works overtime. So tonight, I would ask that nobody leaves. The musician don't leave. And I ask that nobody go outside because I do believe that the Lord has a message for you tonight. The text is found in Psalms 24, verse 6. It says, "This is the generation of those who seek him, who seek your face, O God of Jacob." If you don't mind, repeat after me. Oh God, I want to be the generation who seek your face. But you say it's so weak, I don't think it get to the ceiling. Let me try it again. Oh God, I want to be the generation who seek your face. Let us pray. Lord, tonight, I want you to speak through me. And I want that you open the ear of all of us who are here tonight, so your word will not be spoken in vain. Open ears and heart to hear and to receive your word. Use me in your own way. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. This message tonight, I want it to be a challenge to you, a challenge where you would be a generation that would rise spiritually, morally, intellectually, emotionally, and purposefully. That's my goal tonight. The theme says, my generation will rise. Let me tell you that a generation that seek God will become a generation that rise. Let me repeat that. It's not any generation, but the generation that seek God purposefully, with all their might, with all their power, with everything. It is a guarantee that this generation will rise. Listen to me carefully. I want you to know that every generation has an assignment from God. In other words, every single one of you who are here tonight must know that you have an assignment from God. Some generation build. Some generation restore. Some generation preserve. And some generation transform history. One way or another, you must understand that you have an assignment. D'une manière ou d'une autre, ou doit reconnaître que ou gagne une responsabilité, ou gagne un devoir. Peut-être responsabilité pas c'est pour construire. Maybe your responsibility is to build. Peut-être ou qu'à penser trop jeune, mais une responsabilité c'est pour restaurer. You may think you're too young, but one God may assign you to restore somebody. To be someone who's there when someone else is broken and you're there to restore. Vous pensez que vous êtes trop jeune, mais bon Dieu a une responsabilité pour préserver, pour when another young people are in such a disarray, you have to preserve them, to protect them. Ou là pour faire l'histoire, pour marquer l'histoire, pour faire une action dans une génération côté que l'histoire a parlé de vous. To make an impact, and to make history. Because God is looking for a generation that will rise above fear. God is looking for a generation that will rise above excuses. We're living in a time where everyone has an excuse. God is looking for a generation that will rise against sin. God is looking for a generation that will rise against mediocrity and hopelessness. There are times people want to do things anyway. It's mediocre. Bon Dieu voulait une génération qui pas médiocre. Bon Dieu voulait une génération qui a fait toutes les affaires bien. Et c'est vous-même qui a choisi. C'est vous-même qui t'a remis. We're living in a time where everybody is living in fear. Fear's false evidence appear to be real. God wants you not to be feared because he said, I don't give you a spirit of fear. The spirit of he gives is a spirit of power and love. God is telling you that what he's looking for is a generation who is not an automatic generation. A generation that many, at this time, they grow older. There are some people who grow older, but they never rise. Ils passent toute vie, mais ils n'ont pas jamais levé, ils n'ont pas jamais produit rien. Ils sont simplement satisfaits de aller travailler, aller dormir, lever, aller travailler, manger, mais ils n'ont pas jamais fait un bagage qui marque l'histoire. This generation needs to understand that your job is not to just get up and go to work, eat, and go to sleep. Get up, go to work, eat, and go to sleep. You have to know that you can't live your life and grow older and never rise. People talk about dreams. There are many generations, many young people who have dreams but never rise. I like to do this, but they never rise. Many of you have gifts God is looking for a generation who has gifts and rise, but there are many who have gifts but never rise from their gifts, never do anything with their gift. God is calling you to stand up and fulfill your divine purpose. I want you to know that you have a purpose, and that purpose is divine. It's not what your mom wants you to be. It's not what your dad wants you to be. It's what God designed for you to become. You have a purpose, and it is divine. But my friend, you have to ask yourself this question. What does it mean to rise? Listen carefully, pay attention. To rise means to move from a lower level to a higher level. Move from that mediocre level. Move from that sorry level. Move from that level that tell you you will never be anything. Move from that lower level to a higher level. To rise means to be awakened from your spiritual sleep. So many young people are asleep. I'm not talking physical sleep. I'm talking spiritual sleep. Les jeunes moun y ap dormi spirituellement. Yo pas réaliser rien, yo pas quoi rien, yo simplement ap vivre, yo pas accomplir rien. Spiritually, they are asleep. To rise means to overcome failure. Overcome your failure. Move toward it. To rise means to become who God created you to be. So many people deploring their existence. Des jeunes qui disent, par contre, pour qui ça m'a vivre, par contre, pour qui ça bon Dieu, femme là, par contre, pour qui ça m'a vivre encore. Besoin qu'on ait bon Dieu créé pour bagaille, et besoin vivre pour ça bon Dieu créé pour hier. To rise means to answer God's call. Every single one of you has a call on your life. I had a conversation with a young man in this church. I said, you have a call in your life. You're a psalmist. You have a call to praise. You have a call in your life. Don't let that be taken away from you, because that's your calling. You're going to find obstacles. You're going to find, when God has a calling on your life, you will find people will trying to put a block. They will look at you and judge you and criticize you. They will try their way to kill that fire, to kill that calling that God has. But when someone knows his purpose, nothing can prevent him from growing. To rise means to fulfill your divine assignment. Let me keep repeating. It is a divine assignment. But I don't know if you understand that. C'est un job you ba ou besoin remplir parce que c'est un job divin qui sorti dans le ciel là. Isaiah 60 verse 1 says, arise, shine, for your light has come. It says, I want to be a generation that rise. Well, Isaiah said, if you want to shine, you want to do what God called you, but you got to arise. You got to shine. Because your time has come. You're never too young, never too old to arise. But let me tell you something. You cannot shine until you arise. Ou pas qu'à briller, pas avant camper. fall, you don't stay on the floor. You got to arise. The next question is, why must this generation rise? Pour qui ça li important pour génération ça camper? Why must you, young people, arise? Listen to me, listen. Why must you do that? Because God deposited greatness in you. You understand that? Ou gen yon responsabilité pour camper, pour lever, parce que bon Dieu déposé grandeur dans vous-même. Il y a des gens qui ne comprennent pas. I don't think some of you understand what I mean. When God download, when God deposited something in you, and when that thing is in you, there's nothing else you can do but move. God deposited that in you, and it's not anything, it's greatness. He deposited in you. Let me put it this way. It's like you had a bank account that had -0. And then it's yours. And so out of the blue you say, let me check my account. And when you check your account, you saw 100,000. I'm sure that your whole perspective, your whole emotion, your whole thing will change. What? You know what we do? You'll turn it off. You'll turn it back on. You check over because you don't believe it. And then immediately after a few minutes, you start making plans. What am I going to do with that money? Or I'm going to go to UTC. I'm going to pay all my bills. Because now you realize there's something special that happens in your life. And you are making plans. My friend, you have to know you have greatness in you. Make plans with that greatness that is in you. Don't just sit. I'm nobody here. Back on qui sous tes grands moun, sous tes petits moun, ou lever sous compte, ou jeune compte ou gain $2 millions, son pas déposer. Ou déjà dit encore, la vie me changer. Mes amis, regardons Jésus. Jésus, quoi fait le vrai? On a commencé à chanter chant. Pas qu'on chante de Jésus, est-ce qu'on fait le vrai? Oui, il fait, la compte dans le cas. Oui, il fait, oui, bon Dieu fait. That's how you should feel when you know you have greatness in you. Sing that Willie fell parce que bon Dieu déposé grandeur dans nous-mêmes. You know what Jeremiah 29 verse 11 said? He says that God has already planned your future. I know the plan that I have for you. Plan for you to do what? To prosper. Now, what does that mean? Because he already deposited greatness in you. Is it that greatness is that will allow you to prosper? God would not deposit anything in you for you to fail. Because he said it in Jeremiah. What I plan in you is for you to prosper. Why must this generation rise? Because the world is waiting. Le monde attend pour voir qui ça ou pral fait pour changer. The world is waiting for you to do something different. This is what it says in Romans 8 verse 19. Listen, it says, for the creation waits in eager expectation for the children of God to be revealed. It's like going to a game and you waiting in expectation for your team to win so you can celebrate. It's like you expect your children to graduate from high school. You expect to have this new job. You expect that the same way the world is waiting for you to arise. My friend, don't sleep on it. Don't miss that. The world will judge you if you don't do what expected from you. Nous va comprendre. Nous tous là, que aux fanatiques, que pas fanatiques, tout le monde d'accord pour dire ah, entraîneur, santé esprit de l'IA, c'est pas ça. Et pas comme ça nous dit, entraîneur Haïti, hein? Parce que nous avons bagay n'a attendre et là par recevoir qui sont fait, you're disappointed. When you're waiting for something and you don't receive it. You know, there's some, you know, when you order something from Amazon, and Amazon say it will be delivered on the 24th, and then you receive an email or text says, sorry, your order did not make it on time. You are disappointed. Everybody can relate to that, don't it? Well, Romans said, the world, the future is waiting. There's an expectation, as if it says the future waits and eager, expecting for you, God people, to be revealed. Among you, right here, there are many things that is yet to be revealed. But it's you who's going to do it. Never say, I'm too old. Don't say, well, I passed my age. No. The world is waiting. The world is waiting on you. Do not disappoint the world. The world is waiting for the sons and daughters of God to rise. Le monde attend pour petits garçons et petites filles, bon Dieu, pour camper. Why must this generation rise? Because darkness increases when God's people remain asleep. Listen to me. When you remain asleep, darkness increases. That's what Matthew 5:14 says. You are the light of the world, but when you fall asleep, light is dim, darkness take place. When you, Lord dit comme ça, ça pas job moi, ça pas ça fait pas, ou ap dormi, et puis la noirceur a envahi le monde. The world is waiting for you to start posting positive thing on TikTok. Instead of you keep looking at, start posting. Start doing it, you know, purposefully. Posting positive thing. Tell people, this is what God done. This is what the Bible said. If it says you are the light of the world, it means light must rise. Light must stay illuminated. Light must stay on. Your light cannot be turned off. It must stay on. That's the only way you can lead people so they don't fall. But if you fall asleep, if you turn off the light, the world will stay in total darkness. My friend, what happens when people do not rise at the right time? Opportunity disappears. Le peuple bon Dieu pas levé dans un moment opportun. Une opportunité que le te gagne pour le faire travail, il perdu. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, every opportunity has a season. At your young age, youthful, you decide to waste it 20 years old, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. You keep taking a gap year. 27, 28, 30, 31, 32. You're still waiting. That's opportunity that you are missing. That's time that's passing by. D'apprendre à l'école, le temps perdu ne se rattrape jamais. The time lost will never be gained back. So the world is waiting. Do you know how many people you could have been defending right now? How many lives you could have saved as a doctor? How many things you could have changed in technical world? How many buildings, how many things you could have done, but you're still falling asleep. So many things you could have done in your youth. You're still awaiting. Nothing can happen when you fall asleep. Mistiming often leads to missed destiny. Let me repeat that. Mistiming can often lead to missed destiny. There is something that you missed when you were 21. You will never get it back, because by the time you're 24, you're too old to do it, because it was meant for it to be done when you were 21. Listen to me carefully. There are things that you can do now that I can't do at my age. At my time is gone. You probably can sleep for 4 hours and be okay. But if I sleep for 4 hours, I won't be okay. I need my full 7 and 8 hours. And you don't, because you have the energy, you have the youthfulness. Take advantage of your youth. Rise, my young people. You are the light of the world. Let me tell you what happened to the Israelite, because they missed their timing. They wandered for 40 years because they failed to believe God. One little missed opportunity caused them 40 years in the wilderness. Parce que yo pas quoi, yo désobéi bon Dieu, li cause yo 40 années à virer rond. 40 years. And that 40 years they could have been already in the land of Canaan enjoying milk and honey, but they stayed in the desert for 40 years because they choose to lay back. So many of you are laid back Christian. Listen to me. You too lay back. You too que sera, sera. You too whatever. You too, that's not my business. That's not for me. And all along the way, you're missing opportunities. And I always say it in this church, it doesn't matter where you're from. Don't say I'm Haitian. Don't say I don't have. You have, because remember, God deposited greatness in you. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter what location you are. You have greatness in you. You have to rise. I was raised in Haiti. I've seen what woods can do. Moi, je viens ici, moi qui ça bois chèche café. Yo prend plusieurs bois et mettez ensemble. Yo prend un petit aliment. Yo la gon petit flamme là-dedans. Et puis il a soufflé. Il y a balvant. Il y a balvant. Pendant il y a balvant, où le bois commence à plumer. Il commence à plumer. Yo commence à plumer. Et puis tout commence à allumer. Et puis il vient rouge parce que le gon bagay nan yo qui était en dedans yo, mais il a besoin d'une petite flamme du feu pour faire les ouvrir et puis pour le capable non seulement la lumière, mais les nourrir. What's in you is to nourish. Someone has to keep, vanter. Ou besoin de monde dans la vie qui peut vanter ou. Qui pour et les gens dans la vie la ou gen greatness dans ou, c'est pour greatness qui dans ou pour quitter l'humain pour capable nourrir. That little woods, when you put that little fire in it, and you keep fanning it, you keep fanning that wood, that fire, and it keep taking over that wood. Before you know it, that woods become so hot, and it can cook many things to feed other people. My friend, you have greatness in you. When you miss your opportunity, others take your place. Oui, listen to that. King Saul refused to obey God. David replaced him. Listen carefully. Le raté opportunité ou on a pris place là quand même. Roi Saül a fait ça fait pas. David est remplacé. Ou pas éternel dans. Depuis bon Dieu ou pas voulu faire ça mais de pouvoir la prendre place. Gon li moun captain pour remplacer. One of my wife has a movie she plays every Christmas. Denzel Washington and what was that young lady? What's the title of that movie? The Preacher's Wife. Thank you. Denzel, who was an angel, who came materialized in human form, he said, "There's a line of angels waiting for their assignment, and they're waiting. If you missed it, someone else will replace you." When God downloads greatness in you, utilize it. And if you disregard it, ou mépriser, ou pas l'importance, bon Dieu va remplacer. You understand that? It's up to you. This is what Mordecai told Esther. He said, if you remain silent, listen, deliverance will arise from another place. You said, no, I don't want to preach. I don't want to sing. I don't want to lead. I don't want to pray. I don't want to do this. Another one can replace you. I don't want to play the drum anymore. I don't want to play the keyboard anymore. I don't want to play the bass. I don't want this emotion. You let emotion take over. Those people, they don't care about me. Those people in this church, bunch of hypocrites. I don't want this. Ça c'est job Satan. Satan don't want the young people to arise, and he brings all kind of excuses for you not to do it. But when you said that you're not, God's going to say, you know what? Jezi has been waiting. She's been praying. Jezi, come, arise. When John is complaining, I don't want to do this because people don't care about me, God says, Peter, let him stay in his complaining. Come. My friend, let me tell you, whether you like it or not, God works continues. If you don't want to rise, God works will continue. And the only thing you'll have, you will lose the opportunity to be a participant in God's work. God is giving every one of you here the opportunity to participate in this great work. But if you choose to not do it, God will say, hey, I don't have any problem. I have thousands of people who can do it. When God's people, young people, don't want to arise, potential opportunities is buried. Bible said, according to Matthew 25, the servant who buried his talent never fulfilled his purpose. We know the talent is just about your purpose. It's not about real money. Money was just the object that God used in this history story. But the talent is about you, the greatness that gave you. It says he gave you that to use for him. You can't decide. Some young people say, I decide. No, my friend. God decides for you. God said, this is what I want for you. This is what I create for you. I deposit in you, and I'm expecting you to utilize it. That's what it is. Basically it. Well, you stay asleep. Thank you so much. Listen to me. Regret follow delay. What do I mean by that? Because many people, young people specifically, spending their lives saying, I should have done that. My friend, late obedience is costly. I could have done that. I should have done that. Why didn't I do that? Well, your mom and dad had told you to do it. Your uncle was telling you to do it. Your friend, your best friend who cares about you was saying do it. And you didn't. My wife was telling me a story of someone who was encouraging her to do something. The person told my wife, do that, do it because things are going to change. And my wife listened and did it. And then when an opportunity come, my wife was telling the other people, hey, this time to do it. The person said, you know what? I didn't do it myself. Don't be just the one who's encouraged people, but do it too. You don't understand what's happening. It's not just delaying, but I think the reason why so many of young people are failed to rise because of fear of failure. You fear that you will fail. Fear of rejection. Fear of criticism. While you fear of failing, while you fear of being rejected, while you're afraid of being criticized, someone else is doing it. Someone else don't care if people criticize them. Someone else don't care if someone else rejected them. Someone else don't care if they fail. They say, hey, I'm gonna keep going at it. And that's what you need to understand. Don't let laziness stop you from arise. You know what Proverbs says? Success belongs to the disciplined people. Sin weakens spiritual strength. You want to be successful? Stop being lazy. Excuses. Don't use low self-esteem. Many never attempt great things because they never believe they can. Believe you can and go after it. Moses made excuses. Jeremiah made excuses. Gideon made excuses. God still called them. Sometimes you keep making excuses and God said, I want you to do it. Let me tell you, know your identity. Know who you are. You cannot rise above what you believe about yourself.
Ou pas qu'à aller plus haut de sa pensée de tête. If you think you can't do it, you'll never rise above that. But if you can't, you think, I can be an engineer, I can be a doctor, you can rise to that. Because you are created in God's image. You just read in Psalm 24, it says, seek God first. It teaches us to seek God to become the people He blessed. My friend, you got to prepare before opportunity comes. You know, David was preparing. He was preparing in the wilderness, fighting the bears, the lions. When the opportunity come, when Goliath come, he was already prepared. He didn't back down from Goliath. There are some opportunity that's going to come. It's going to look giant, but because you're prepared, it'll be small. Because you are ready for it. Gen job qui pral paraître devant, puisque tu es déjà préparé, les opportunités à venir, ou qu'on est prêt pour lui ou pour faire job là. Gen moun dit, oh, mes amis, si je connais de gen un school diplôme, regarde un bon job m'ven là monsieur, m'pa ka faire. Et ou te gen opportunité pour gen un school diplôme. Prepared, my friend. Be prepared, because God, this is how you could arise. You got to believe in yourself. Young people, you should believe that you can learn. You should believe you can lead. You should believe you can innovate. You should believe you can build. You should believe you can serve. You should believe you can change a nation. Not because you are perfect, but because God equips those He calls. The key is to believe. When God calls you, I believe it myself. When God calls you, because He knows you can. That's what Philippians say, I can do all things to God who equips me, to the God who download, to the God who put greatness in me, to the God who calls me. I can do all things because He strengthens me. You got to believe in that. You got to establish standard. Prayer should be a standard for you. Integrity should be a standard. Purity should be a standard. Honesty, excellence. My wife always said, keep the excellence. Respect, discipline, hard work, love, service. Listen, Daniel refused to compromise, and he was successful. Joseph refused immorality, and what happened to him? Both eventually rose to leadership. What about you? Even if when David fell, God restored him. Sometimes you got to understand, failure does not have to become your final chapter. Yes, some of us fell. Peter fell. Peter denied Jesus 3 times. He wept bitterly. Jesus restored him. Peter later preached on the Pentecost. 3,000 people were saved. Let me tell you, my friend, your worst mistake does not cancel God's purpose. My worst mistake did not cancel God's purpose in my life. So, pendant nous dit, oui, mes amis, bon Dieu pas besoin de cap. No. David était un criminel. Attendez, oui. David was a criminal. He plotted to kill Uriah. David took someone else's wife. David did so many things that would be a shame, but that did not prevent God from restoring him. Jonah ran away from God, but God got him back. You can always return to God's assignment. You don't need to run away, my friend. Joseph was betrayed by his brothers, sold as a slave, falsely accused, imprisoned. Finally, he became ministers of Egypt. Listen to me. Naomi lost her husband. She returned home empty. God restored her family through Ruth. Listen, God can restore broken lives. Young people, I know that this generation is going through a lot, but God can restore. I know your life been broken by disappointment, by this and by that. It doesn't matter. God can restore it. There are some modern people we know that in our generation who fell before they rose. Morgan Freeman, they said before he becomes successful, he works many small jobs, but at the age 60, that's when he become famous. Success is not always early. Keep growing. Keep growing. Let me tell you something tonight. I don't know where you are, but the Lord said, I download greatness in you. Where you are is not where I intended for you to be. Par contre, quand tu dans la vie, pour mon Dieu, il me déposer grandeur dans moi-même. Quand tu es là, c'est pas là. Il te voulait pour y. Il voulait pour plus haut. Il voulait pour plus loin. Il voulait pour aller vers l'avant. Listen. You got to say, I will rise above fear. I will rise above failure. I will rise above excuses. I will rise into my purpose. Do you have a purpose? Well, tonight you're called to rise above that purpose. Who here tonight who's living in fear? Quelqu'un là peut-être qui vivent dans peur. The fear of stepping up, of making that decision to do what deep down in your heart you know that you called, this is your calling, but you're afraid. Kimon là, yo connaît que dans fond cœur yo que yo gen appel ça dans la vie, mais yo peur. Living in that fear, and that fear is crippling you, making you stop trying to rise to your calling. I want to pray with you tonight. If you are that person who's living in fear of stepping into your calling, and you know you have a calling in your life, you know you have a calling in your life, you know that you've been battling with it, and tonight, as it says, rise, the Bible said, now it's time for you to rise. We say, you know, fear, you just false evidence appear to be real, but I want to step into my calling. And come, me and Brother Tim will pray for you, so that you can be what you were meant to be. Ou gen yon appel dans la vie, ou assoya, moi je veux prier pour capable faire yon pas vers l'avant des appels. Vous dites, Seigneur, moi connais que ou après les je connais que moi gen peur dans la vie qui fait moi peur, moi senti que je pas capable, c'est pas pour moi. Tonight God says it's for you. You've been giving excuses. Tonight, God say, it's time for you to rise to your calling. Who is that person tonight? Want to step forward to their calling? I'm going to invite Pastor Tim to come, and he'll pray for you. Who's that person? I know there's a person here that God is calling. I know there's a person here that who knows that he and she has a calling in their lives. But fear or excuses, or whatever it may be, is preventing you. But knowing this, there is an expectation. This generation is waiting for you to show greatness. If it's not you, someone else will do it. Si vous refusez faire, bon l'autre monde bon Dieu après les pour prendre place. Let me end with that. God is not looking for a perfect generation. He's only looking for you. But il va chercher un monde parfait, un monde qui prépare déjà. Mais il va chercher vous-même qui peut répondre à l'appel. God is not looking for someone perfect, but He's looking for someone who respond to his calling. Moses wasn't perfect. Moses was looking for excuses. God said, all I need to do is respond to my calling. Who is willing to do that? To respond to God's calling. And when you do that, generation future will know now this person is living into his and her purpose. Pastor Tim.